What if everything we know about human history is incomplete? What if ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we have been taught? Across the world, there are places that challenge everything we believe about technology, intelligence, and time itself. Massive structures built with impossible precision, stones weighing hundreds of tons, cut and placed with accuracy modern machines still struggle to match. And perhaps most disturbing of all, no clear explanation for how or why they were built. These are not myths. These are real places studied by scientists, archaeologists, and engineers, yet still surrounded by unanswered questions. One of the greatest mysteries begins beneath the ocean. Off the coast of Japan lies the Yonaguni Monument, a massive underwater structure made of perfectly straight lines, sharp angles, and enormous stone terraces. Some scientists argue it is a natural formation shaped by earthquakes and erosion. Others believe it is the remains of a lost civilization, possibly over 10,000 years old, built before rising sea levels submerged it beneath the ocean. What makes Yonaguni so unsettling is not just its shape, but its scale. If it was built by humans, it would completely rewrite the timeline of civilization. Moving from the ocean depths to the deserts of South America, another mystery stretches across the ground itself. The Nazca lines of Peru are massive geoglyphs carved into the earth, depicting animals, geometric shapes, and symbols so large they can only be fully seen from the sky. These lines were created more than 2,000 years ago, yet the Nazca people had no known means of flight. How did they design such precise figures without seeing them from above? Some believe the lines were astronomical calendars or religious paths. Others suggest they were messages meant for gods watching from the sky. Despite decades of research, no explanation fully satisfies the mystery. On Easter Island, nearly 1,000 massive stone statues known as moai stand silently across the land. Each statue weighs several tons, some over 80 tons, and were carved by an isolated civilization with no metal tools, no wheels, and limited resources. Even more puzzling, many of the statues were transported miles from the quarry where they were carved. How they were moved remains one of archaeology's greatest debates. Some believe the statues were walked, using ropes and coordinated movement. Others argue that such a method would have been impossible without advanced engineering knowledge now lost to time. Then there is Göbekli Tepe, a site so old it should not exist according to traditional history. Located in modern-day Turkey, Göbekli Tepe dates back more than 12,000 years. Built before agriculture, before pottery, before permanent settlements were believed possible, massive stone pillars carved with animals and symbols were erected by hunter-gatherers, a group once considered incapable of such complex construction. Even more mysterious, Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried by its builders. No one knows why. Was it a ritual, a form of preservation, or an attempt to hide something from future generations? Perhaps the most famous ancient mystery of all is Atlantis. First described by the philosopher Plato, Atlantis was said to be a powerful and advanced civilization that disappeared beneath the ocean in a single day and night. Some believe Atlantis was inspired by real events, such as volcanic eruptions or massive floods that destroyed ancient societies. Others believe it was purely symbolic, a warning about arrogance and moral decay. Yet the idea of a lost civilization continues to haunt us, because it suggests that progress does not guarantee survival. Across continents and cultures, these mysteries share something in common. They challenge the idea that ancient people were primitive. They suggest that knowledge can be lost, civilizations can collapse, and history can be erased. Modern humanity often assumes it stands at the peak of progress, yet these ancient sites whisper a different story, a story of forgotten knowledge, unexplained skill, and questions that refuse to fade. The truth is unsettling. We may never fully understand how these structures were built or what their true purpose was. But perhaps the real mystery is not what ancient civilizations achieved, but why we are so uncomfortable with the possibility that they knew more than we think. Some mysteries remain unsolved, not because we lack evidence, but because the answers challenge our understanding of who we are and where we came from. And until those questions are answered, the past will continue to watch us in silence, waiting to be remembered.